Tusks up, Utah Mammoth fans. Welcome into another Utah Mammoth Daily. The off-season continues on, as do the rumors. So let's dive into things first with Alexander Georgiev. I practiced saying it, and I said it wrong to begin with, but then I got it right. Alexander Georgiev, the former goalkeeper of the Colorado Avalanche, who at one point in his career was a stud. He won 40 games, and he won 38 games in 2022 and 2023. So a guy who has seen the top of the mountain in the NHL and has had a save percentage above the 90 line. He says he wants to come back to the NHL. Obviously, the last time he was seen in the NHL, things were not going well for him, but he was playing for the San Jose Sharks, and I don't think any goalkeeper would have looked good behind that team. He signed with the Buffalo Sabres after that and was sent down to the AHL, and after that he just went to the KHL because he'd rather start in a professional environment than bounce between the minors and the pros, which I don't blame him. So he says he wants to come back. Well, in the KHL, he had a .918 save percentage, only 2.37 goals against, and he won 12 games. He won 12, lost 10, and lost 2 in overtime. So not stellar, but in the playoffs, he was much the same goalie as he was in the regular season for Spartak Moscow. 1 win, 4 losses, but he had a 2.65 goals against average and a .918. So, I mean, if you counteract that with who I talked about yesterday in Samuel Montembeault, I would rather have Georgiev, in all honesty. Between the three, Montembeault, Georgiev, and Vitek Vanacek, say that 10 times fast, I think I would have Georgiev. I really do. If he's willing to come in as a backup role, and then if Andre Turgeon is willing to play him more often than he played Vitek Vanacek. I think having Alexander Georgiev in there gives you potentially 2 number 1 goalies, which is a luxury in the NHL, and who knows how much it would cost to have Georgiev, what kind of market is out there for him. But when I saw that pop up on the news feed, I just went, oh, interesting. That could be an upgrade for the Mammoth should he want to sign here. So definitely something to look at. And if the Mammoth can get him in his form from 5 years ago and 4 years ago, that's that's huge. That's huge. And then Karel Vejmelka wouldn't have to play 70 games in the regular season. So something, again, I'm going to keep an eye on during this offseason. In the NFL, a couple of blockbusters just completely blindsided everybody. Well, one of them didn't, one of them did. A.J. Brown to the Patriots has been cooking for like a year and a half. Just ask Diana Rossini. Too soon? And then you have the Browns trading Myles Garrett to the Rams. Apparently that one's been cooking for a while too, but nobody thought it would actually get across the line. It did. Will we see something like that this offseason in the NHL? I hope so. I really do. Because when you look at the potential names that could be available, I mean, probably next season is what has been beginning to roll out of the different front offices and whatnot. It's next season. It's this season. Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid are going to be remaining on their teams to see what they can do this offseason. And then we'll see what happens, is kind of the road we're starting to walk down, which is unfortunate for hockey fans pretty much everywhere outside of Toronto and Edmonton. Big trades are fun. They are. They're fun to examine from afar, and they're even more fun if your team is in the middle of them. I would love to see that. I don't think we'll have an equivalent of a Myles Garrett trade this offseason in the NHL, but anything can happen. I would like to see a Robert Thomas trade. That would be a big-time trade. It wouldn't be on the level of, Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid, but it would still be a big-time trade should it happen. And if he doesn't go to Utah, hopefully he's in the Eastern Conference. So I'm hoping that happens. Like, that would be really cool. I just am not going to get my hopes up too high just to have them dashed. You know what I mean? And now we're going to move into the letter grades for the players for last season, just my personal grades. There's not going to be any sort of deep analytic dives on this. This is just how I felt they performed in the season, what they went up against, how they fought through what they fought through, and how excited I am to see them next year in a Mammoth sweater. So that's really what I'm going to be basing my grades on. Yeah, the stats will obviously be a factor, but I'm not going to be a robot on this. I'm not going to be addicted to the spreadsheet or addicted to the box score. Just how I felt watching him in all 88 games this season, a little bit more for a couple of the other guys because they went to the Olympics, but overall, that's really what I'm basing my letter grades on here. Nothing too much into, well, he could have done this better, or he could have, played in the corners better. That's for a different channel. That's for somebody who's more of an expert on hockey than I am. This is just a fan grade, how I feel about how this person performed, and just an overall feel and how my excitement is to see them next season. So that's really where I'm at when it comes to my letter grades here. So enough preamble. Let's start with the captain. And let's go with Clayton Keller. He had 88 points this past season, 2 shy of his career high, which he achieved last year with the hockey club. He had a gold medal this past Olympics. Sure, he didn't play a ton, but he still filled a role. He still got the gold medal. His teammates still treated him just like every other teammate. And made the playoffs for the first time in his career. Sure, you can count 2020 if you want to. That was a different animal, a different beast, and you can count it or you can't count it. I'm not going to because he was playing in front of crowds for the first time in the playoffs. So he made the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, and he was a captain during all of it. I love watching Clayton Keller play hockey. I do. He's not going to throw his body around. He's not a big, heavy checker. But what he does do is he reads the game incredibly. He makes passes that make you feel like he has eyes in the back of his helmet, and he can just get around the ice and just weave around the bigger bodies and get to where he needs to get to be lethal. Would I like to see him shoot the puck more? Absolutely. I'd like to see everybody on the Mammoth except for Dylan Guenther shoot the puck more. And even then, I would like to see Dylan Guenther shoot more. Because that seems to be, I don't want to call it a problem, but a stylistic sort of thing that's going on with the Mammoth where they always want to get the perfect shot. And sometimes it works out beautifully. I mean, just look at Clayton Keller's highlights from last season. Sometimes it works out beautifully. Other times, it's one too many, you turn the puck over, and it's an odd man rush the other way. So shoot the puck a little bit more, but get a couple more goals. I think a 100-point season is in the future for Clayton Keller. He's still young enough to make it happen. I mean, for heaven's sake, he's 27. So he'll be 28 at the start of next season. He has a birthday in the correct month. His birthday's in July. And if you don't know, my birthday's in July as well. So I'm very excited to see him wear the captaincy again on his sweater, guide this team back into the playoffs, and hopefully further into the playoffs than they were this year. They were close. They were 2 goals away from advancing to the second round. That's how close they were. Now, no other team can really say that against the Golden Knights. That's pretty darn good. So this season, and not to mention, he did all of this after the stunning loss of his father. I feel like sometimes that gets lost in the shuffle of all of the accolades he had because not only is it the stuff you see on the screen, it was the IIHF gold medal the past offseason before this season began. So Clayton Keller was playing hockey for almost a full year straight. Didn't miss a game. Played all 82, played all 88. Didn't miss a game. I mean, if I see a lot of people saying you shouldn't be the captain. Not a lot. I see some people saying you shouldn't be the captain. He's not playoff material. I beg to differ. It was his first one. It was the first one for a lot of guys. As the series progressed, Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, and Lawson Krause just got better. They got more used to the speed and the physicality of NHL playoffs, and they improved. And then coming into this next season, they're going to know what it takes, and they're going to be ready from game one. They're not going to be feeling it out. They're not going to be trying to work their way into it. They're going to know, and they're going to be ready to go. So I give Clayton Keller an A+ for the season. A+. Yeah, he's my favorite player, so there is a little bit of bias on my side of things, but A+. 2 gold medals, got his team to the playoffs. He's the captain of the team, almost had a career high in points again, didn't miss a game. I mean, what more do you want? More goals, I guess. But other than that, incredible year from the captain, and I can't wait to see him next season. So that's it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for being here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for other videos that I've done. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, please rate it 5 stars and leave a review. And I will see you guys in the next one. Tusks up.